Boys and girls, for our interactive read aloud today, we are going to read a story, and the title of our story is called Jabari Jumps. This is the title, Jabari Jumps. The author, her name is down here, Gaia Cornwall. Okay, boys and girls, this is the front cover of the book, and this is the back cover of the book, and oftentimes the author will write a little blurb on the back and have an illustration to go along with it. And so the blurb on the back of this book says, "Working up the courage to take a big leap is hard, but Jabari is nearly almost ready to make a great big splash." So now we're going to read our story, Jabari Jumps. All right, Jabari Jumps by Gaia Cornwall. Here's our title page, Jabari Jumps. The illustrations in this book really have a unique perspective, and you'll see what I mean when we get started. "I'm jumping off the diving board today," Jabari told his dad. "Really?" said his dad. I mean, look at how proud he looks while he's telling his dad he is going to jump off that diving board. The diving board was high and maybe a little scary, but Jabari had finished his swimming lessons and passed his swim test, and now he was ready to jump. "I'm a great jumper," said Jabari, "so I'm not scared at all." Jabari watched the other kids climb the long ladder. They walked all the way out to the end of the board, as big as tiny bugs. Then they stood on the edge. They spread their arms and bent their knees and sprang up, up, up. And then they dove down, down, down. Splash! "Looks easy," Jabari said. But when his dad squeezed his hand, Jabari squeezed back. Jabari stood at the bottom of the ladder. He looked up. "You can go before me if you want," he told the kid behind him. I need to think about what kind of special jump I'm going to do." Jabari thought and thought. Jabari started to climb up and up. "This ladder is very tall," he thought. "Are you okay?" called his dad. "I'm just a little tired," said Jabari. "Maybe you should climb down and take a tiny rest," said his dad. A tiny rest sounded like a good idea. Think about how Jabari might be feeling now. When he got to the bottom, Jabari remembered something. "I forgot to do my stretches," he said to his dad. "Stretching is very important," said his dad. "I think tomorrow might be a better day for jumping," Jabari said. They looked up at the diving board together. "It's okay to feel a little scared," said his dad. "Sometimes if I feel a little scared, I take a deep breath and tell myself I am ready. And you know what? Sometimes it stops feeling scary and feels a little like a surprise." Jabari loved surprises. Jabari took a deep breath and felt it fill his body from the ends of his hair right down to the tips of his toes. Jabari looked up. He began to climb. Up and up and up and up until he got to the top. Jabari stood up straight. He walked all the way to the end of the board. I really like this illustration right here because it shows him at the bottom of the ladder looking up, and you can see from Jabari's perspective, from what he sees, how very tall that ladder looks, how very high the board is. His toes curled around the rough edge. Look at this page, boys and girls. You can see his toes curled at the edge, and that's Jabari, and he's looking down. Look at what he sees from way up there. We call that a bird's eye view. The illustrator did a really nice job showing Jabari's perspective. Jabari looked out as far as he could see. He felt like he was ready. "I love surprises," he whispered. He took a deep breath and spread his arms and bent his knees. Then he sprang up off the board, flying. Jabari hit the water with a splash. Boys and girls, when you see this word splash, how do you think it should be read? Why do you think it should be read that way? I bet you're thinking that the word splash should be read loud and excited by the way the author has the words written so big. Let's read this page together. Jabari hit the water with a splash. Down, down, down he went, and then back up, whoosh. Jabari, you did it, said his dad. I did it, said Jabari. I'm a great jumper. And you know what? What, said his dad. Surprise double backflip is next. Now that we have read this whole book, what do you think about Jabari? How would you describe him? Silly, sad, brave? And why do you have that opinion? Today in Seesaw, I'm going to have you answer that question. How would you describe Jabari and why? What makes you have that opinion? What evidence from the book makes you think he's silly, sad, brave, or any other describing word that you think he is? You can think about the characters in your books during your independent reading time. You can write about how what you think of one of your characters and why you think that way. I hope you enjoyed Jabari Jumps.